Hello, and welcome to Slow Talk English, the podcast for learners who want to speak with more confidence and joy. I'm Lena, and I'm here to guide you, step by step, day by day, toward speaking English more naturally. I'll speak slowly and clearly so you can follow along and repeat with me. Hello, everyone. Today I have an amazing story for you. It's not just for your listening practice, but also to inspire you. The story is called Nothing is Free, and it will show you how hard work and determination can truly change lives. There was a young woman named Lena, 20 years old, living in a small, quiet town surrounded by mountains. Lena had big dreams. She wanted to own a chain of restaurants and become a successful entrepreneur. But life wasn't easy for her. Lena's family was struggling financially. Her father, Mark, was a mechanic, and her mother, Claire, cleaned houses to make ends meet. Lena's little sister, Sophie, was just 10 and looked up to her as a hero. One cold evening, Lena sat outside her small house, staring at the stars. She whispered to herself, "I want to give my family a better life, but how do I start when we barely have enough to survive?" The next day, Lena shared her dreams with her father. Mark sighed and said, "Lena, dreams are not free. If you want something, you have to fight for it. Start with what you have, even if it's small." Lena thought deeply about her father's words. Then, an idea struck her. She noticed that in her town, people loved fresh bread, but had to travel far to buy it. She decided to start selling bread locally. But there was a problem. Lena had no money to buy it. So she decided to take a chance and visit the bakery's owner, Mr. Anderson. Lena walked miles to meet him, a grumpy old man who rarely trusted anyone. With confidence, Lena said, "Mr. Anderson, I want to sell your bread in my town, but I don't have money to buy it up front. Can you trust me for 1 week? I'll sell the bread, return your money, and keep a small profit." Mr. Anderson raised an eyebrow. "Why should I trust you, young lady?" he asked. Lena replied firmly, "Because I am determined and I'll work hard to prove myself." After a long pause, Mr. Anderson said, "All right, I'll give you bread for 1 week, but if you fail to pay me back, don't come here again." Lena was thrilled. Early the next morning, she carried the bread back to her town and set up a small stand near the park. She greeted every passerby with energy and a smile, saying, "Fresh bread, warm and delicious." At first, people were hesitant. They didn't know if the bread was good. But Lena offered free samples and soon had her first customer. By the end of the day, she had sold everything and made a small profit. That evening, she returned to Mr. Anderson and paid him back. The old man nodded and said, "You kept your word. Come back tomorrow." From then on, Lena worked tirelessly. She woke up at 4 a.m., walked to the bakery, carried bread to her town, and sold it with passion. After 2 months, she had saved enough money to buy a small cart, which made it easier to carry more bread. One day, a customer said, "Lena, why don't you bake your own bread? You're great at selling, but if you bake, you'll earn more profit." This idea excited Lena, but also scared her. She had never baked anything in her life. That was the moment she realized nothing is free. Not success, not knowledge, not growth. If I want to succeed, I must take risks and learn. Lena couldn't stop thinking about baking her own bread. If she could bake, she wouldn't need to rely on Mr. Anderson, and her profit would grow. But there was one big problem. She didn't know how to bake. Lena decided to ask Mr. Anderson for help. The next morning, after delivering his payment, she said, "Mr. Anderson, can you teach me how to bake?" The grumpy old man frowned. "Why should I teach you? If you bake, you won't buy from me anymore. That's bad for business." Lena looked at him and said, "You're right, but I'll never forget the man who gave me my first chance. If I succeed, I'll make sure to help your bakery too." Mr. Anderson thought for a moment and then said, "Fine, but baking isn't easy. It takes time, patience, and hard work. If you're ready for that, I'll teach you." The lessons began the next morning. Lena arrived at the bakery at 3 a.m. before the sun was up. Mr. Anderson showed her how to mix flour, knead the dough, and bake it perfectly. At first, Lena struggled. Her hands hurt from kneading, and her bread came out too hard or too soft. One day, after ruining another batch, Lena sat down feeling defeated. She said to herself, "Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I should give up." But then she remembered her father's words, "Dreams are not free." She realized that every mistake was teaching her something new. Giving up was not an option. The next day, Lena returned to the bakery with even more determination. She practiced each step carefully, over and over. Slowly, her bread started improving. After 2 weeks, Mr. Anderson handed her a loaf and said, "This is perfect, Lena. You're ready." Lena was overjoyed. She rented a small oven and began baking bread at home. Her family was amazed by her hard work. Sophie, her little sister, helped her pack the bread while her mother made tea as Lena worked late into the night. Soon, Lena wasn't just selling bread, she started making cookies and pastries too. People in the town loved her products. They said Lena's bread tasted better than anything people had ever tried before. But success wasn't easy. One day, a new bakery opened in town, run by a young man named Eric. Eric had a big fancy shop with bright signs and colorful decorations. People were curious and started buying from him instead. Lena noticed her sales dropping. She felt scared. What if she lost everything she had worked so hard for? But instead of panicking, Lena decided to improve. She listened to her customers and asked, "What do you like about Eric's bakery? What can I do better?" Some said, "Eric's shop looks clean and pretty." Others said, "His cakes have beautiful designs." Lena realized she needed to grow, not just as a baker, but as a businesswoman. Using her savings, she painted her cart, added bright decorations, and started offering free samples of her new pastries. She even learned to decorate cakes by watching videos at the library. Slowly, customers returned to her stand. One evening, an elderly woman came to Lena and said, "I've seen many young people give up when life gets hard, but you didn't." That's why we trust you." Her words filled her with pride. Months passed, and her business grew. She saved enough to rent a small shop. It wasn't as big as Eric's, but it was warm and welcoming. She named it Lena's Fresh Bakes. Every morning she woke before sunrise, baked fresh bread, and opened her shop with a smile. Her parents and little sister helped her. Sophie, now 11, loved talking to customers, and Claire managed the accounts. But Lena knew this wasn't the end of her journey. She wanted to reach more people, make her family proud, and prove to herself that anything is possible with hard work. Lena's Fresh Bakes soon became the heart of the town. People loved her bread, cakes, and pastries. Business was growing, and her family was proud. But life still had more challenges waiting. One stormy night, as Lena was closing her shop, she noticed smoke rising near the oven. She rushed inside. A small fire had started. She quickly grabbed water and managed to stop the flames, but much of her equipment was damaged. The next morning, when the townspeople heard about the fire, they came to check on her. Some said, "Oh no, what will Lena do now?" Others whispered, "Maybe this is the end for her." Lena felt heartbroken, but not defeated. She stood outside her bakery and said, "This is just another challenge. I've faced struggles before, and I'll face this too. I won't give up." She took a deep breath and began making a plan. After counting her savings, she realized it wasn't enough to replace everything. Fear crept in for a moment, but Lena remembered her journey, how she had started with nothing but a dream and determination. Instead of sitting and worrying, Lena asked for help. She went to visit Mr. Anderson, who had already retired. "Sir," she said, "I need your advice. What would you do if you were me?" Mr. Anderson smiled and said, "Lena, you already know the answer. You've learned that nothing is free. Work harder, believe in yourself, and others will believe in you too." Inspired, Lena decided to rebuild. She didn't wait for someone to rescue her. She started baking again at home using the little equipment she had left. She told her customers, "I won't let you down. I'll keep serving you, even if it's just a small amount for now." The townspeople admired her courage. Many came to help. Some donated ingredients, others gave small amounts of money, and a few offered their time to help her clean and repair the bakery. Lena realized something powerful. When you work hard and never give up, people notice. They want to help those who help themselves. After months of effort, Lena reopened her bakery. It looked better than ever. She painted the walls, added new decorations, and even introduced cupcakes and muffins to her menu. Her customers were overjoyed. On the day of the grand reopening, the town's mayor arrived and said, "Lena, you are a true inspiration. You have shown us all that with determination, anything is possible." Lena stood in front of the crowd and said, "I want to thank each one of you. You've taught me that nothing in life is free. Not success, not respect, not love. Everything must be earned through patience, hard work, and perseverance. Never let failure stop you. Every challenge is just a step towards something greater." From that day, Lena's bakery didn't just sell bread, it became a symbol of hope. People from other towns started visiting to meet the young woman who never gave up. Lena's story teaches us 4 powerful lessons. 1. Dreams are not free.
They require hard work and sacrifice. 2. Failure is not the end. It's a chance to learn and grow stronger. 3. Help yourself first. When people see your effort, they will support you. 4. Never give up. The darkest moments often come just before success. Lena didn't just build a bakery. She built a life, full of purpose, respect, and pride. And so can you. Whatever your dream is, don't stop chasing it. Remember, nothing is free, but everything is possible.
Thank you for spending your time with me here on Slow Talk English. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe and keep learning with us, one slow, steady step at a time. Keep going. Every word you practice brings you closer to confidence.